Welcome to our demonstration video of the Fluree Password Authentication API. Over time, it's become apparent that users want to use usernames and passwords for authentication. And while that's not quite as secure as Fluree's default public-private key cryptography, we want to develop a system that allows users that option while still taking advantage of Fluree's underlying cryptography features. So this example application will be leveraging the Fluree Password API for user authentication and to determine user roles. These roles can be used to gate functionality in the front-end app. In this particular example, the roles are being used and determined in the front-end app and not in the back-end Fluree database using smart functions. That will be the subject of another video at some other point. To get started, we'll start up Fluree in the terminal. We do /Fluree_start.sh. Have to give things a moment to get going. Once that's started, we will start up our React developer server for the demo application. To start off, we'll register a new customer. Here we have a list of comic books that a customer can use the plus buttons that will send Fluree transactions to the back end and add these books to the user's pull list. So we've added a few books. Let's check out their list. The books are there. We'll log out. Let's register an employee now. Select employee, register. You might notice a difference that there is now an admin list function for the employee role. Let's add some books because comic book store employees also like to read comic books. They also have the list, and then the admin list will show every user's list that is in the database. Obviously, this is something that a customer would not need to use, so we reserve that functionality for employees. So Fluree's Password API uses JSON Web Tokens, or JWTs, to authenticate users and also to sign their queries and transactions. So when you register a user, that user's information is being sent to the pw/generate endpoint in the Fluree database, and that sets up a user, sets up an authentication record for that user, associates a role with that authentication ID, and then returns a JSON Web Token to the browser, which is saved, and then that JSON Web Token can be used with the subject key to figure out the user's authentication ID. The application sends a query using that ID key, and it can get the user's info and their role, which will determine what functionality they can use in the application. Feel free to dig into the code, check out how users are registered and logged in, and also take a moment to look at how the application queries the Fluree database to determine the user's information and their role.